As most of you have heard by now, J.J. Abrams, creator of the TV show Lost and director of Star Trek and the sequel of Star Trek Into Darkness, which is opening in AMC theaters everywhere on May 17th, has been announced as the new director for Star Wars Episode 7. It's currently slated for release in 2015. The first question that arose has been, will Abrams still direct Star Trek movies? Well, the answer appears to be a no. In an official statement put out by Paramount, the studio behind the Star Trek movies, it's been announced that JJ will produce the third Star Trek movie, but not direct. Amy Rose, is this the right move for Paramount and Abrams?
Can't we coexist? That's what I want to know. Like, can't we live long and prosper and have the Force strong in us? Like, I would like both. Like, first of all, I'm ecstatic about the news. Like, I was just hoping someone would do this amazing property of Star Wars right. J.J. Abrams, we know he's going to do it right. I have very high confidence. But I love his take on Star Trek. I absolutely loved the first one. And, you know, I saw the 8 minutes preview of IMAX for Star Trek Into Darkness, and I thought it was beautiful and wonderful, and the characters are great, and he really knows how to get the best out of his actors, and I loved it. So, you know, I'm a little disappointed about this news because I would really like to see him continue, but I understand why it'd be a little complicated. So luckily we have Star Trek Into Darkness, and luckily we have someone who's going to properly helmet for Star Wars.
No, I'm really glad he's not directing the third Star Trek, and I'll tell you why. First of all, it's one thing to do what Christopher Nolan did. You know, Christopher Nolan had the Batman franchise going.
It's all to the end.
And in between each Batman film, he did another little project to kind of try to keep his creativity sharp, you know? So he did Inception, he did The Prestige, you know,
So
he did,
good.
which turned out great. But I think there's a massive difference between helming a huge, ongoing, pressure-heavy franchise and another huge, ongoing, you know, pressure-heavy franchise at the same time. It's Nolan did these little one-off films that were amazing, but he didn't have to shepherd these huge, ongoing storylines. Also, I've said this before, and I'll say it again. Even if J.J. Abrams was not doing Star Wars, I would really advocate for him to not direct the third Star Trek movie anyway.
Wow.
Because we have seen Sam Raimi has become the poster child for this. Sam Raimi is a great filmmaker. He's a creative genius, and he's a creative force. But what happened to Sam Raimi as he stuck around on the same franchise for too long? Spider-Man 1 awesome, Spider-Man 2 awesome, Spider-Man 3 garbage. And did Sam Raimi suddenly not become a creative genius? Of course he was still a genius.
The content was awful.
Yeah, but the thing is, he'd been around on the same thing. He's a creative guy. He needs to keep moving, keep his creative juices flowing, move on to something else. I was thrilled that JJ is coming back to direct Star Trek 2. I'm really looking forward to Star Trek 2. But it was going to be, I think at that point it's time for him to move on. Franchise change directors all the time. And quite often, it's a good thing. And I think this is a good thing. And look, I said it before, I'll say it again. JJ would not have been my first choice to direct Star Trek, or Star Wars, I mean. He wouldn't have been my second choice. He wouldn't have been my third choice. But that being said, he'd still be up there as a guy that I'm willing to say, hey, this is worth getting excited about. I still would have preferred Andrew Stanton. Still would have preferred Brad Bird.
I wanted Spielberg.
Still would have preferred Steven Spielberg.
Yeah.
But you know what? There's 1,000 directors out there they could have got, and JJ is certainly one of the top guys, and so I'm excited about it. But yes, this is good for Paramount, because I think the Star Trek 3 will be better served with a fresh director, and I think it's good for JJ because he needs to keep his creative juices going.
It's hard for me to want to change something. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. You know, like, it's very hard for fanboys and fangirls to give an amazing property like Star Trek, like Star Wars, to a director like Joss Whedon with Avengers. Like, we didn't know, and then we saw that he crushed it. So it goes back to the ain't broke, don't fix it thing. I loved Star Trek, the first one, so I want to see him continue, but is it a huge endeavor to do both? Absolutely. Is it logically probably the right thing to do to not do it again? Yes, but I love his style and I love his world. So to me, you know, I would like to see it as a fangirl continuing.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it is not the mantra of creative forces.
Maybe it is. I mean, Christopher Nolan finishing the whole Dark Knight trilogy, most of us who have good taste liked all three of them.
But, we may have liked all three Dark Knight movies, right?
Right.
Which I did too. I liked the last.
And creatively, they were still great.
I love the first one, love the second one, but you will agree with me. Even as somebody who really liked, I didn't really like The Dark Knight Rises, I liked it, but as somebody who really liked it, you'll admit
it wasn't as good as the other two.
It was the weakest of the three.
It was, but was it still good? And was the world still great? Hell yeah.
Hey guys, if you like this video, make sure to stop what you're doing and subscribe to our AMC Theaters YouTube channel to keep up to date on all the movie news, editorials, and our AMC Movie Talk Show. Also, make sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitter to hear about all our special promotions, contests, and prize giveaways.